Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the DK Show. It's episode 9.
That's right.
And we are here on a Tuesday night. After a lot of preparation, we have finally made it to the start of the show.
About to be Wednesday morning.
Dominic, how's it going?
Going well, dude. Doing well.
I'm about sick of taxes, bro.
Listen, man, that's the life that you chose, man. You got to deal with
right.
everybody's taxes and everything. I just got to deal with mine, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I got to do.
Yeah, when are you going to come pay yours, bro?
I'm not paying taxes, bro.
All right, guess you ain't getting your card tagged.
I'm going to resist the government, bro.
And then in 3 years, your house will be sold.
Yeah, I'll pay my taxes.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah.
So, we're coming off a W.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good game, but...
Kind of boring.
Yeah, kind of boring, but
And,
some injuries that kind of stink.
Yeah. Carson Sturgill tore his ACL, and it was right in front of me when it happened. It was...
Non-contact.
Non-contact.
Those are the ones, dude. That's turf, man. I think.
No, it's absolutely turf. You stop on a dime, the
No
turf
give.
doesn't give. So all it does is take.
I wonder if the high school gives any instruction for high school players. You're supposed to wear shorter cleats.
So the stud on the cleat's supposed to be shorter?
Yeah, it's supposed to be because that helps you not stick so much. It gives you, you know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, I've had that happen. It is not
painful.
Yeah,
and like, I thought he was gonna get injured because of the tackle that was coming.
Yeah,
and then that guy kind of laid off, and then he stopped, and then the guy kind of went past him, and then it just kind of like tweaked, and then he kind of still moved on it, and then I saw him like jogging. I was like, how are you jogging?
Well, did you see Daniel Jones when he hurt his? I mean, he went back and then he tried to play on it and then just collapsed. Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough loss too.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's take a look. Oh, bro.
Well,
you said to give you a warning, and I gave you like 3 seconds.
Thank you. You're like, well,
thank you.
Cold.
Shout out, Carson.
Yes, sir.
Wishing you the best in your recovery. Hopefully it's a speedy process.
Yes.
And hopefully we see you out there in track.
Yeah.
Because that's what's next. That's 4 or 5 months away. Doesn't look like it.
No, that's a 9-month recovery.
Yeah. Unless he defies the odds like
or maybe he faked it so that way. Have you heard that rumor?
That Aaron Rodgers faked it?
Yeah. So that way the Jets didn't have to actually pay for the... They don't have to.
They don't have to give the Packers the first round pick.
Yep. Sneaky.
That's stupid.
Just keep a 500 record. Rodgers comes back. Just saying.
Still makes playoffs, but that doesn't help.
Huh?
That doesn't help.
No, he'll come back this year. He said he's weeks away.
Well, yes. No, he said he's fortnights away.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but you know.
You played Fortnite. You should know.
I don't think that's what he means by a fortnight. It kind of confused me because I don't know the whole terminology of what a fortnight is. So, with that being said, let's take a look at what's on the screen. We got 2 teams, both of them solid records.
So why don't you go ahead and explain that to the best of your ability for people who don't know?
So why is Lamar the home team?
Yes.
All right, so they have a little point system they go off of. I could be 100% misquoting this, so don't quote me on it. But I believe it's something like 14-point wins, wins against certain classes. For example, Adrian has a 6-0 record against Class 1 teams. So those are worth like 10 points. The Class 2 teams are worth, I don't even know if they're worth more than that. Because they're in Class 2. So it's like probably 110 points.
Okay.
Well, at the beginning, they've played 2 playoff games. So they were 9-0. So they had 90 points.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We've beaten a bunch of Class 2, Class 3, Class 4 teams. So we get more points for playing classes above us and beating them by 14.
Yeah.
So that's that. We've had basically what it is. It's a strength of schedule adjustment. So they kind of take into consideration your strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And then they have a point system for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too dissimilar from college.
Yeah.
So like shout out to my Mizzou Tigers out there ranked number 12 because of a good loss to Georgia, actually.
No, they were ranked 12 going into the game.
I know, but I'm saying like they keep that because it's a good loss. So they lose, but it's a good loss.
Did they keep it?
I thought so.
That was tonight. Let me look at that.
Pretty sure they stayed at 12, dude.
Did
Because,
they?
I mean, they lost to LSU, which is another respectable loss.
Yeah.
And then they lose in a good game to Georgia as well. So I think we'll have a pretty good bowl game.
I don't know that it was a good game.
I mean, considering all of what Georgia's done to every other team this year, it was a good loss.
They're 14.
14, so we dropped 2.
Yeah. They play Tennessee, who's 13, so.
It's going to be awesome.
Dude,
I'm so pumped for that game.
This week in college is crazy.
Yeah, the Penn State game with all the implications, that'll be cool.
There's Michigan, Penn State. There's Washington versus Utah.
Bro, you got to get over Washington, bro.
Dude, Washington's, they have them at 5 still?
They're right there.
5. They're so close, man.
Big week for
This
them.
game will put them over.
Yeah.
And then I think it's pretty slim pickings when it comes to the next game.
Yeah.
Tennessee versus Mizzou. And then Ole Miss at Georgia, which is where College Game Day is going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be electrifying, bro. College football, definitely one of those things I want to go see once in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do a College Game Day special sometime.
No.
Yeah.
Let's shut that down real quick. All right, back to high school football.
Anyways.
Adrian's 11-0. They're 6-0 against Class 1, 5-0 against Class 2. They're coming off some pretty good wins against Stockton Eldo or Stockton Sheldon, and then Butler.
Okay.
Let me go into it. Let's take a look. They beat Butler 49-14 last Friday, and then they beat Stockton Sheldon 34-10.
Yeah.
So they've showed that good Lord, I can't speak English. Neither of those teams could really put up a fight.
Yeah, so pretty dominant wins coming into this. The only question is just, it's difficult to kind of rank where they're at when you're playing against those kind of teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because we've had games where we put 42 in the first half, and if we put our foot on the pedal, we could have done a lot more, then we, we're not trying to score as much in the second half.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. What's the kind of expectation for a game like this? I think that just the fact that they're undefeated and they've blown out a lot of these teams just kind of put some respect on them. I've seen some signs around town even where it's respect all, fear none, and that's a great motto, really. I mean, you don't want to underestimate your opponent, but you don't want to come into it like thinking, we might lose this game. Like, you want to be confident.
Yeah, absolutely.
But knowing that, hey, they could be a good team.
Yeah, you look at it, they're on an 11-game win streak. I don't know about last year. They were Class 1 last year. Didn't win it. This year, though, they've outscored their opponents 506-117.
Oh my.
506-117 is absolutely insane. And according to some of these stats I've seen on Max Preps, they've got some pretty good players. I mean, that's the one thing about our team, though, is we don't score points, really. We score points, but we only have 384 points.
Oh, really?
To 98 points.
Huh.
So it's kind of like we had the one game against Seneca where we only scored 14.
Yep.
And then Nevada, we only scored 14. So that kind of put a damper in our numbers. Obviously, the East Newton game as well, we only scored 28, which by no means is
bad.
Yeah, bad. But
it's not 50.
It's not the 50 points that.
Yeah.
So definitely harder teams that we played. But this team can score.
Yeah.
And I see, from the stats I saw, they've scored a bunch and they score often. Each quarter they put up points. So it's one of those games where that first quarter is going to be a pretty big test on our kids.
Yeah, and you expect to see our defense come out and play pretty strong like they have all year.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be looking for, don't give up the big play early.
Yeah.
If they drive down the field and you can stop them, you know what I mean? Bend but don't break kind of mentality.
Yep.
If you can kind of control that, that's going to be a huge show of strength, I think, for our defense.
You mentioned the big plays, and I've noticed they've had quite a lot of big plays.
Well, yeah, in their running back, his average per carry is like 13 yards or something.
It's 13 yards per
That's
carry.
insane.
Yeah, and he's carried the ball 82 times. I don't know how legit these stats are, but
Yeah.
from Hunter Bailey, we'll just go ahead and shout him out now. He's a senior running back for Adrian.
Yeah.
He'll be number 22 on the field. He's, from what I saw out of the 7 games that had stats, he's carried the ball 82 times. He's carried for over 1,000 yards,
Can't be
11
right.
touchdowns, and 13 yards per carry. If that's right, like, bravo to him.
Yeah,
That is
for real.
impressive. He had one game where he had like 209 yards. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous. And then Colton Miller is a junior. He's quarterback number 5. He has played 3 games. I don't know if he got injured, but just going off of the stat sheet, it looks like he got injured.
Came back.
Was out a couple games and then came
Okay.
back. He can throw the ball a little bit. He's thrown it 17 times completion wise. 451 yards, 3 touchdowns. He can also carry the ball. He's got a 12.14 yard per carry. And yeah, so definitely one of those things where our defense is going to have to be better on the secondary.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the things that can be difficult on playing teams that are a little less disciplined is, you got guys that go to that second level of blocking.
Yeah.
So some teams struggle to do that, but if you have a good team that breaks a lot of big plays, the only way you break big plays is if you get to the second level
Yeah.
of blocking. And if they can do that, that's going to be where our linebackers are really going to have to be disciplined and know their gap assignments.
Yeah.
Because that could fall apart pretty quickly, and then you're one-on-one with a safety.
Yeah, so I definitely look forward to watching this game.
Yeah.
This Friday. It says a neutral game, but I'm pretty sure it's at Lamar. I'm like almost 100% positive. I don't know with all the things that have gone on so far
Yeah,
if they're moving it to a different field.
yeah,
I don't see how they would.
yeah. And we'll keep everyone posted on our Facebook page if
Yep,
you want to follow
for
that
sure.
as we hear things.
Yep. Follow us on the Facebook
Yes,
at
sir.
the DK Show. Yeah. So let's kind of make our predictions. How many points do we think they're going to
Ooh.
score? Because we obviously think we're going to win.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win. I'm gonna say that actually we win by a decent amount in this game, but I think they get some points on the board.
Yeah.
So my final score for this, I'm gonna go something like, I'm gonna go 42-21.
42-21.
That's what I'm guessing.
I'm going 49-7.
49-7.
49-7. Dude,
Oh.
our defense is outstanding, and
Okay.
I have to respect our defense.
Yeah,
So that's where I'm going to go with that. I just have that much respect.
they're gonna
for our
get one
defense.
time in the end zone.
Yep,
Okay.
and I don't even know if it'll be varsity.
Yeah. Got any field goals in this game?
No, I don't even know if they can kick.
Well, you never know.
We don't have that scouting report.
That's true. We need the insider details.
Yeah, we do. So if you want to be interviewed, hit us up.
Yep. We'll interview you.
Absolutely.
We'll ask you if you think aliens exist, as well as your favorite formation on defense or something.
Yeah, and if you can survive in the wilderness by yourself.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
important
That,
information.
absolutely. We need
Yeah.
that. We need all of it.
Every bit.
Yeah. So with that said, we're going to move on to the NFL.
Yes, sir. Big week for
And-
you.
And go ahead, pull it up. Is it this screen we want? It is this screen. Get that stuff out of here.
There we go.
Ugh.
Look at that beauty.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
bad.
I'm a little disappointed, but how come you have more wins than I do? But
Because
like,
I'm better than you.
no, like no, you have more games picked than I do.
I think it's because.
Oh, you picked those 2 games the week before and you got
Yeah.
them wrong.
Yeah. Which, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm
so
still doing better than you.
You are, even with the 2 game.
It's not 2
disparate.
games, is it?
Was it 1 or 2?
I think it was just the one.
Is it 1?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. 23 plus 8 is 31. 18 plus 12, 30. Yeah, okay. So it was 1 game. It was the Sunday night game where you picked the Dolphins
was
to beat
wrong
the
on that
Eagles,
one.
and you were wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking of, since we see that, let's talk about the Dolphins. They continue to struggle against winning teams, man.
Yeah, and it's not like they are getting absolutely destroyed. You know what I mean? It's not like they're who's it? Who am I trying to think of here? Well, there's been some like I can't say that they lost to the Bills in that pretty bad game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully comfortable saying that they're like full on pretenders.
Yeah.
It kind of pains me to say this because I liked them at the beginning of the year, but I think that they're in that crowd of the Detroit Lions. Honestly,
it's kind of it's
what it
been
looks like.
scary because like they'll go out there and dominate these horrible teams, and then the moments they have a good team, it's like they just forget how to play.
Yeah, and what I'm wondering is in my mind, there's kind of two things that have been happening here. The first thing, they play against physical teams and they lose. The second thing is that they're playing. Maybe it's just showing us that there really are tiers in the NFL. There's really bad. There's decent like teams that could kind of win a game here and there, and then there's like good teams like them, and then there's great teams. So like the Chiefs just at another level.
Yeah.
Eagles, and then
I do have to mention they haven't played a home game against a winning team yet. So that could be a little bit of it, but I feel like the crowd's not that big of a.
Well, to be fair,
it's
the weather too.
The weather.
Yeah, because they're used to that warm weather over there.
Yeah, but then they go to Germany and they're there for like 5 days, and the Chiefs show up on a Thursday and play on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
you kind of figure they might. And
it was a close. I mean, to be fair, in that game,
this game was very weird.
Tua sold, not Tua. Well, he did sell on that last throw.
He did.
But I mean, most of the game he was all right. It was really Tyreek's fumble that kind of gave up.
Yeah,
because otherwise that game's really close.
Yeah, it is. But it was so weird because the first half the Dolphins get shut out.
Yeah, I mean,
then the second half the Chiefs get shut out.
They picked up the Chiefs. The Chiefs are in a really peculiar state right now.
Yeah,
I mean, they actually have the formula that you almost want.
Yeah,
because you want a good defense, good to great defense. You want a running game and a great quarterback, receiver, tight end duo,
and Taylor Swift at your games.
Well, that's also important. But you got to have him for Travis to have a good game, apparently.
Right. Dude, my fantasy team is begging her for weeks 12 through 17.
She needs to show up for you, man.
Please come.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know what I mean? Like, they have that model where it's like, you know, you don't have to have the most prolific offense as long as you got those other pieces. So I think they're in a good spot, but it's just weird to see this team being good at defense, can kind of run the ball, and then have a good 1-2 punch with their quarterback tight end kind of thing. So anyways, it's just kind of weird to see it though.
Yeah. You know what else is weird to see? A rocket scientist absolutely dominate a team.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Man, I don't have a clue. That is absolutely insane. And Joshua Dobbs is a dog.
He's a baller, man.
He is absolutely incredible.
So, so that, I mean, obviously it kind of shows that he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the question is like, where does that put him now? I mean, if you're going to rank him,
he's a starting quarterback.
But what tier are you going to put him in?
Oh, what tier? I'm still going to put him in probably a tier with like probably right around above Baker Mayfield.
Just a little bit above Baker Mayfield?
Like a tier above Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so he's a starter, but not a star at all.
I don't think he's like a person who can make their team become a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
He might keep them in the playoff race, but with the amount of injuries that team just had in this past game, it's kind of scary for that team.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe he'll carry him.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he carried him, but it was the Falcons in all reality.
I mean, it was the Falcons. Yeah.
Not the best team in the league, not the worst. It kind of just depends, and this team's just blown so many games that they should have won.
Yeah.
It's
but honestly, what a fun game to watch.
It was very fun.
I mean, that last-minute drive was pretty cool.
Yeah, for somebody who has Joshua Dobbs on their fantasy team, I loved it. It was great.
He was the second highest scoring in fantasy, right? He was either like second, third, or something like that, but I know who number one was.
I play in a league that's a little bit different on the scoring, so it's not always the same.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah,
And did you hear about the coach? He was the one that was he was calling in the plays, and then he would tell Joshua what was happening in these plays.
oh really?
Yeah, he was like, this guy's gonna go on a fly route. This guy's gonna run a post. This guy's gonna go out for a flat route.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he
The
was
amount
like,
of thinking you have to do on the spot to be able to run an offense like that.
not only that, Cam Akers was their emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he tore his Achilles
Yeah.
again. So he was out. So while he's telling these people what the play is, he's got people running through the roster just who can throw a ball. Because if some crazy scenario happened where Joshua Dobbs got injured that game, they were going to have to pull somebody out for
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
yeah, bravo
guy.
to him,
Yeah.
because
Who do they play this week?
he
You
didn't
know?
even know half of his like teammates.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not sure who they play. They might be on a bye. No, they've already had a bye. The Vikings. They play. That was that week. Who do they play? No, that is still the same week. What is going on? We're stalling. They play the Saints
Ooh.
at home. The Saints are on
Very
the road.
interesting.
On the road. So we could see another good game. We'll get into that Friday night, Saturday.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
But yeah, let me go back to my page. So that happened, and then we watched your team. Are they still your team?
Well, I mean, I'm not jumping ship, you know. As a fan of the NFL, you got to go through the bad years, you got to go through the good years, you got to take it all, man. Otherwise, you're just you're no better than someone who, you know, is a Kansas City Chiefs fan when they're good, or the Cowboys fan when they're good, or the Patriots fan whenever they were winning Super Bowls, or a Warriors fan when Kevin Durant leaves your team and joins the enemy.
All right, bro. This is getting personal. Chill out. We don't need this. We don't need this right now.
All I'm saying is, I'm gonna stick with the Giants. You know,
All right.
I like only about two things. I like our general manager, and I like our owner, general manager, and coach. Those things are okay. What I don't like is the rest of the 52 guys that are on the field.
You want to know why I don't like your coach or the GM or the owner? Because it's their fault they're in the spot that they are.
Somewhat.
No, it
somewhat.
absolutely
I
is.
mean,
it's all their fault.
Yeah, somewhat.
They didn't trade Saquon, and they signed Daniel Jones to this horrendous contract.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of blame to go around there, but I don't think, because like with Dayball, he didn't pick Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? So what are you going to do? You're going to just not sign him and then go?
Correct.
I mean, you could have. That's one
Yeah.
perspective. I get why they did it. He did have a decent year. Like, not a decent, but he had a year showing some promise. And then you want to see what him and Saquon can do coming back. Obviously, didn't pan out. All we got to do is just pay him the remaining $35 million and move on.
You know what did pan out? Firing a coach. And the Raiders looked great.
Yeah, it doesn't work for the Giants.
I'm not talking about the Giants. I'm just saying.
okay.
The Raiders looked phenomenal that night.
They did. Yeah.
That was incredible
Well, I mean,
off a week of coaching.
but I think that's something that kind of commonly happens, you know, if you're under a coach that you just don't like,
Yeah.
and then you get a guy that's come in and he's just amped up. So like when Jeff Saturday came in for the Colts,
Yeah.
that game that he coached that first game, I
Yeah.
think they won
And they
that
won,
game,
yeah.
and then they lost 7 in a row or something.
Yeah. It was
So it's like, you want to see week 2, week
Yeah.
3 after this, but I mean, promising because they have
you
players.
want to buy into the hype.
Yeah,
Because they've got Devontae Adams, Josh
they've got
Jacobs, a
guys.
great defense.
Yeah, I
And-
love that they sat Garoppolo. He's not.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Aiden O'Connell is
You don't need to put
their
him in.
future right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's what they need to do.
Yeah,
Like, build this what's the chemistry with Devontae and Josh and Aiden, and just put it together and look forward to the future.
yeah. What a game for them. I mean, in a season where it was so dark and gloomy. I mean, this is a little bright.
It did not have any, like, going into
Ray of
the
hope.
trade deadline, it looked like that team was just done for.
Yeah.
And then the next day, late that night, boom, coach, GM, gone. And then they turn around and
And hey,
5-6 days
as
later,
an owner,
they win.
you gotta love it. I mean, you don't tolerate bad performance. You're not doing a good job. All right, you're out.
Even
let's
if it costs you $60 million.
Yeah. I mean, they're paying what's his name still? Gruden. I think they're still paying him.
Probably.
I mean, they're not a good organization.
Yeah.
But at least you can't fault them for not recognizing their mistakes and trying to do something else.
You know what?
Till it sticks.
It's time. I chose the other team, and it worked. We're back, baby. Let's go. Go Pack, baby.
Man. Have your moment.
I'm going to have all the moment. But here's my question for you. Do you think they have a chance at making the 7th spot in the playoffs?
No.
No? See,
I don't think that they're the worst team. However, I really think that, it's a pretty weak NFC. So there's a chance. I'm not going to say there's no chance. However, this team's got to stay healthy. This team's got a lot. They have to win a certain way, and I just don't know if they got it. So
see, I did so I have this there's this web browser site that you can do, and you can pick like the schedule and pick the remaining things. And I honestly did it non-biasedly because I didn't have any faith in the Packers. And I have them making the 7th seed. Just barely sneaking in at the 7th seed. I don't have it saved or anything, but it was right at the 7th seed. So I feel like they might have a chance.
Okay, so currently the teams above them that they would have to be above are Tampa Bay, probably can get that.
Can do that.
Atlanta, Washington, and then maybe Washington, Minnesota is where that they're gonna have to land. Man, it's crazy how weak this conference is. But yeah, I mean, there's a chance, but I do think that it'll be very interesting late season to see what that Minnesota Green Bay game's gonna look like. Because who knows at that point is Jefferson never coming back?
He will eventually.
Okay, so he's coming back. I don't know, man. You think you can beat the Vikings? Beat them out for the rest of the year?
It's really hard to predict what the Packers and Vikings are gonna do. We've got the Bears one more time, so there's some promise. And by the way, these screens look great.
Yeah.
Just. You got the little Star Wars reference there for those of you that don't know, because nobody's going to know off of this.
Yeah. Some will know.
Some will.
Few will know.
Few.
Very few. Of all of the people that watch our videos,
very few. Probably maybe one, and that's going to be you.
I'm going to send it to my cousin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just say, where's this place at? But then you got me with the, the sick skyline background of just a busy city.
Is that what your mind's like?
Oh, dude, that is not even close. It's way worse. Way worse. You know that SpongeBob episode? I don't know if you watch SpongeBob, where there's just a million SpongeBobs running through the file cabinets.
Yep.
That's pretty close to it.
All right. Well.
And that's why I got off topic.
That is good to know.
But I think there's a chance they make it. It's a slim chance, but it's still a chance.
All right. So let's look at this.
Yeah.
You've got the Steelers, not going to win that game, I don't think. You got the Chargers, probably a loss. Lions, maybe a divisional game. You sneak that one out, but probably a loss.
Yeah.
In all honesty, the Chiefs, probably a loss. Yeah. So you got a lot of losses coming up. Giants, Bucks.
W.
Yep. Panthers.
W.
Vikings.
W.
And then you end on the Vikings and Bears. Those are probably dubs.
Yeah.
Maybe the Vikings game.
Yeah.
We'll see what Joshua Dobbs does with that team.
Absolutely.
But at that point, I mean,
it was like a crazy 5-game win streak at the end. I think
1, 2, 3. Yep, that's what it would be.
Yeah, and we sneak in barely.
So is it with 8 wins? Nah,
Bro,
you're not going to go in with 8 wins.
Dude, the NFC is horrible.
Man, I know it's bad. I would imagine you got to get to 9.
If you
probably. If you can,
and I
beat
think I had them like stealing a game from somebody.
the Lions or the Steelers, yeah, if you can steal one of those games, yeah, it's not out of the picture.
I'm saying it's possible.
So
it's
you're telling
not
me there's a
probable.
chance.
Yes, exactly. I'm saying there's a chance,
Yeah.
a better chance than the Giants making it.
Hey, we're 1 game behind you guys. DeVito's gonna turn it around.
Oh
dude.
yeah, who's that?
Huh?
Danny?
What's his name? The actor.
Yeah, Danny. Danny
Yeah,
DeVito.
he's better than who we got.
He's back. All right, let's see it,
Oh my,
dude.
it's
That
bad.
is horrible. Let me switch the screen back to both
There
of
we
us.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that there's a chance. You guys got a lot of work to do though, and then the Giants just need to sell everybody.
All right, that was the next topic. Do the Giants move on from Daniel Jones?
Yeah, get as much as you can from him. Get as much as you can from Saquon, as much as you can from Darren Waller, and then let's just get a good draft.
I don't know if you get anything for Darren Waller.
Probably not.
He's injured now.
Yeah, I didn't like that pickup, honestly.
I loved that pickup.
Really,
Yeah, he's a great tight end.
he sucked for us.
Well,
He's had drops, and I don't like him.
I don't like your coach. I'm gonna be honest.
He's a pretty hard nosed.
I don't really buy into this Dable effect.
Yeah,
I just have a hard time buying into it.
he's one of those like pretty harsh coaches. I think
he's
So,
old schoolish.
Yeah, but he's not like perfect match, but he's an offensive minded coach, and he got us. I mean, he coached us to the playoffs.
Yeah, but
Because the games that we won that year,
how much of that was scheduling? Like, playing
scheduling
easier
is
teams?
definitely part of
Yeah.
it. But the reason that I'm going to say it was coaching is because we were in every one of those games in the fourth quarter, and our situational success was just better than the other teams.
Yeah.
And that's mostly coaching.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that he is a good coach, but this year, injuries, we've had all kinds of problems come up, and our offensive line's probably
it's horrible. It's probably bottom 3.
us and the Commanders
The
probably
Commanders, and then there's probably one more team, like the Jets. The Jets' offensive line,
pretty bad.
bad. We'll talk more about that in
Yeah.
a little bit. Do you want to go ahead? Do you have the pulled up?
What
No.
do you want?
Sorry. CJ Stroud puts on a record-breaking performance.
Dude, I'm going to get a CJ Stroud jersey.
Yeah?
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He is awesome to watch. He is awesome as a player, and love to see that he will give glory to God after each of those games, and just his attitude to me. And he's a worker. I think he referenced something about having some like off-field issues and stuff right before that game, but working through it, and so I love that guy. I think that he's good for the Texans, after
yeah,
the whole Deshaun
absolutely.
thing, like
Yeah.
get a guy like that to come in. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge change of
Yeah.
just a huge change.
Direction,
And,
everything
yeah,
for that franchise.
you go from a quarterback who's questionably doing things that
Yeah.
he really shouldn't be doing to a guy who's definitely a standout guy and can go out and just works hard. Like, you go and watch him, and it's fun to watch the
Oh, yeah.
Texans play. How many times have you said that in your lifetime?
Not often.
like
Yeah.
it's just crazy because I never really expected to say that about the Texans.
Dude, and the
Until-
crazy thing is the turnovers.
Yeah,
There's like
he
one.
doesn't. Yeah,
One turnover,
It's-
I think. 14 touchdowns, 1 interception.
yeah. It is like,
Crazy.
it reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. Not the whole personality thing, but like just the playing, like just how good he is at protecting the ball.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, like the
yeah,
play
like in his
style.
MVP
Yeah.
years and stuff, he's had some. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Just in Aaron Rodgers' career, he's only had like double-digit interceptions.
Yeah,
like
that
4 or
is
5
pretty
times.
crazy
So,
stat.
he's he just had like, what was it, 460 some passing yards
Yeah, set the record.
as a rookie.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that is incredible.
Yeah.
And who was it against the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
They have a solid defense.
Mhm.
It's not like it's a bottom 5 defense. It's probably top half of the league.
Yeah, I thought it really just showed kind of two things for him. It showed that he's ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he's not one of those quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence when he came in. he was ready. His team
His
situation,
coach, ugh.
not good.
Yeah.
But you could see he was processing.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball out. He had some hiccups, but I think we'll see some with Stroud eventually. But yeah, he's ready. And then the other thing is he's got whatever gene it takes for fourth quarter success.
Oh man,
where
that was
you just
beautiful.
got to have some clutch in you.
Yeah.
And he has it, man. I mean,
Dude,
that's
straight ice water in his
that
veins.
is important.
It is.
Because
That
there's some people, Dak Prescott, who just don't have that, dude.
Daniel Jones.
They don't even.
Bro
Daniel
tripped
Jones,
over his own feet.
He's
Come
probably
on.
not going to be starting in the NFL anymore. So give him some break.
Oh man, but yeah, to see him go up and carve that defense up
Yeah,
in
special.
a minute and a half is something special, and the Texans are going to be fun to watch for the next 10 years.
I hope so. I hope they keep him protected and that he's one of those top 5 quarterbacks that'll give Patrick Mahomes a run for his money or something occasionally.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, the Los Angeles Rams have made an addition to their team after a pitiful performance from Brett Ripien against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, is it Wentz?
Carson Wentz.
Uh,
Thoughts?
he's got some talent. I mean, he's a bigger in his heyday, man. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Something with the injury, he's just not the same. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be a better backup than what they've had, obviously. But
I don't think Matthew Stafford's coming back this year.
what happened to him?
His thumb, bro.
Still,
It's from the thumb injury.
so strange.
The one thing
I
with
wish
Carson Wentz, he's been working out this offseason with John Gruden, who is a known great person to go play or go practice with if you're your quarterback.
Yeah,
Great
okay.
quarterback guru. So,
Yeah, I've
that's-
seen him
that's one of
post
those
stuff where
things.
he's still keeping up with things. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think he'll be better
it's-
than Ripien.
Yeah, it's not much harder to be better.
Yeah.
So,
And you're going to be we don't know what Kyler is, but that team's already at 1 win and
Yeah.
they're not going to be a threat.
mhm.
Carolina, I think he'll be better than Bryce and just that whole situation. Chicago, don't even need to go there. Not much hope there. The Giants, same situation. And then it's the Rams and Green Bay. And so, like, if you can stay better than Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield,
Dude,
They could make it to
do
the
you know how
playoffs.
important this win was for the Packers?
that was big.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Like, granted, we got lucky that Stafford wasn't playing. I think if Stafford plays, we lose. But our defense played better. But it was Ripien. So,
Yeah.
So you really can't, like, take into it. But our defense did look good. Kenny Clark got injured. Christian Watson, he hurt his neck, his back. He has a concussion now, too. So,
Really?
yeah. Let's move on to more quarterback controversy. I feel like that's all we talk about because there's just so many quarterback problems this year.
Yeah, I mean, half the league has a backup quarterback in.
it's-
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous how many quarterbacks have had issues. And Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill? I know who your answer is. You probably know who my answer is.
You can't go back to Ryan.
You can't.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, and I think that they named him the starting quarterback anyways.
yeah. They
So
did.
there's no question. You can't go back to a guy who's not going to give it to your best receiver. Like, he'll get it to D-Hop, but it's not going to be those 50-50 balls. That's just not in his DNA, I don't think. So it's one of those things where Will Levis is going to be more willing to make those mistakes and just be like, yeah, I'll give it to you, man, and throw it down there. And that's what you need. And
Yeah.
he's the future. You got him for a reason.
Yeah.
Let him play.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's kind of like the situation that Atlanta almost had themselves in, and the Raiders have themselves in.
yeah.
You've just got to you're not going to make the playoffs.
The
I mean, you might. It's going to be a tough road.
Oh, for sure. Tough
But-
road. Especially in their conference. Yeah, they're going to have to be.
It's going to be a tough road, but get this guy reps now. Let him learn, and then next year, go out and get him some other weapons to throw at.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're only really 1 game behind the playoff spots. I
Yeah.
don't know what their win loss is, who that, if they had that extra win, who
They're
they'd be
3-5, so they need to be like 5-3 right now.
Yeah,
Because the entire AFC North is in the playoffs.
isn't that crazy,
That
dude?
is ridiculous.
That won't be the case at the end of the year, but
Yeah. We'll see. Next topic of conversation is We've got two things are back now, man.
Oh boy.
It is ridiculous. Kyler Murray is finally back off the IR. Just in time for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 coming out Friday night. Oh, man, what are the Arizona Cardinals getting into, and how bad do they lose?
I don't even know what to think of this. I mean, there's so many things that could happen.
Oh, yeah.
One possibility. He comes back, he's as good as usual, and they who are they playing?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, oh man, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what Atlanta Falcons team you're getting. So
I mean, that's a flip of the coin game.
Yeah.
I feel like for sure the Falcons are favorites in that game.
Yeah.
It's their game to lose.
Absolutely.
So in that context, if it's at home, Atlanta, I'm taking them. If it's in Arizona, I don't know if that really makes a difference, but who knows?
Yeah.
It could be closer at that point, but
yeah, it's just funny.
the question, I mean,
how much Call of Duty is he going to play?
you'd like to think that he'll take it serious, but dude, that's the thing. Some of these guys in the NFL, you always like to hope, that they have the best intentions.
And
some of these guys just want to go get money.
To be fair, their team's not even going to be close to making the playoffs. So
no.
I could see him getting absolutely hammered or smashed. Like, I don't even see this game being close. I think the Falcons are going to have a heyday.
Yeah, it's possible.
Especially the defense. The defense has to have a good game. Arthur Smith, the coach, he had a killer mustache.
Oh.
And then after this recent loss to the Vikings, he shaved it off. And, oh, man, he looks horrible. He looks miserable.
Yeah, some guys just need facial hair.
Yeah. Speaking of looking horrible, the Atlanta Falcons look horrible. Like, they're not using Bijan Robinson at all. Like, why did they even draft him if they're not going to use him? I don't even know why they drafted him to begin with. Like, granted, he's a great talent to have.
Yeah.
But they just had a guy who ran for 1,000 yards in Tyler Algier. I didn't see a point. Go draft somebody like, go draft an offensive lineman or just a defensive guy. I didn't see a necessary reason to go and draft a running back in the first round because it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Giants did. It's just one of those things. Like some teams just are gonna say that's just our identity and that's what we'll do. And it's like, well, you can keep trying that, but at least from what we've seen in recent years, that's not how you win Super Bowls.
Yeah. Speaking of not winning Super Bowls, the New York Jets are not looking too great, and their future or their Super Bowl future doesn't look too promising either.
No, it doesn't look promising, and the more you watch this situation unfold, the more two things are evidence. There's something wrong on the offensive side with scheme, with something. It's not just Zach Wilson. There's something else there. They could run more. They really could.
Absolutely.
Their average yards per carry is like 4.7 or something. Mm-hmm. Like, run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you got to keep running it. I know you get down. I know, but just keep running.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand is these coaches, they'll get down 1 or 2 touchdowns and then just get away from their game plan.
Yeah.
Like, if you can still run the ball, just trust your defense to make a stop or two and keep playing your game. Like, don't get away from the game that everybody on your team is familiar with. Trust your process, like trust your game mode, or not game mode, trust your game plan.
Yeah, for sure.
And stay with it. Like, I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you should have done in our game of Madden, that second half. You should have just stuck with your game plan.
Bro,
but
I was down by like 24.
You should have just stuck with it. Just kept running it. And
that's different. If you're down 21, 24.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's just, my question is this, I think that Saleh is a good coach, but I also think that he's got limitations. And I think
don't know if it's Saleh or Nathaniel Hackett.
Well, that's true. It very well could be that. Yeah. But at least it's Saleh saying, like, I'm not going to be I'm not the offensive guy.
Yeah.
So whatever, you're probably right. It's probably whoever's in charge of offense. So Hackett is probably the one to blame on that. But man, it's just ugly. The offense is ugly. And there's something else wrong just in general with coaching, because you come out in this game and, I mean, you can't have that many turnovers in a game like this. Prime time, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Jets. It's just who they are now.
Their offensive line is not good either. And that brings me to the question that this topic's about. Does Aaron Rodgers even consider coming back?
I think he pushes himself to be able to come back. And if they maintain this like 500-ish, or right above, right at, if they get 2 games under, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But if they're in it, I mean,
I just don't see a world where you're going to let this backup quarterback get sacked 7 times and then expect him to come back.
Well, the obvious answer would be that Rodgers can get the ball out quicker, more accurately, and make the defense hesitate, because that's the problem they've had, is if they can run the ball and he can just go out there on play action without tearing an Achilles and just get the ball out, accuracy to his guys, and Garrett Wilson, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. It sounded weird because Zach Wilson, but
yeah.
Anyways, just let him go make some big plays down the field occasionally. I feel like that's got to be better than throwing Zach. I think you got to get rid of the kid.
I don't think they give up on him yet.
You got to, man. No, what's he gonna?
You've got 2 more years. You've got another year with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
I know.
So let him sit.
But
they don't have to pay him a bunch.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you got to get another backup. You can't stick with Zach. You're going to lose this team. You're going to lose players. You're going to lose. You got to get someone who can at least get something going.
He's not going to play next year. He'll play backup again.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is the.
But why?
Plan.
I'm saying, why even keep him as a backup? He's not good.
Because he's been in the system for that long that eventually he might under Aaron. Under Aaron Rodgers, he can still learn. He hasn't looked horrible this year.
He hasn't looked good. Yeah, I in my opinion, the problems that he has are not like, he needs refinement. He's just not processing. He's just not accurate sometimes. Well, those aren't things that you can just be mentored into.
You can and can't, because there are better decisions he could be making, and that is something Aaron Rodgers can teach him. It is something Aaron can
to his credit.
Instead of doing this, do that.
Yeah. To his credit, he is running for his life the whole time. So It's hard to judge who he actually is.
And the coaching plan, the game plan, doesn't allow him to get the ball out quick. I don't see them running slants or drags or anything like this. I see them running deep go routes, posts, and I think
That's
it's
Nathaniel
a coach.
Hackett.
Dude, it's honestly a problem. I think Nathaniel Hackett might just be the problem. I don't want to put the blame on Zach Wilson. And you look at the Broncos, and their offense has gotten tremendously better.
Yep.
And
but that's the thing with Hackett, though, is that the reason Hackett even came in the first place is because his relationship with Rodgers. And
Hackett went first, and then Rodgers came after.
Well, you know what I mean. That was assumed that they would get him. But basically, the offenses, those are the things that Rodgers likes. That's kind of his go-to stuff.
But as a coach, you have to learn that not everybody can play that way.
Well, maybe he can't learn that. Maybe he's just he's a limitation for this team. Maybe that's it.
I think it is. I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back.
Yeah, even though he's a fortnight away,
bro. A few fortnights. All right. I really want him to come back. I want to see what this team will do.
Dude, it's one of the saddest things this year.
Man, it's by far the saddest thing.
That's a rough blow.
Let's move on to probably one of our final topics. And is it time for the New England Patriots to move on from Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, or both?
Or neither.
What
do you think? What are your thoughts on this whole Patriots situation here?
This one's a difficult one, dude, and I don't really know.
Is it frozen?
Yeah.
Now try.
Oh, there we go.
Ta-da.
There we go. I don't really. We'll leave that in because why not? I just don't know. I don't like Mac Jones, so I think they need to move on from Mac Jones and then give Bill 2 more years, and then move on. They just signed him to an extension, so I don't see them moving on from him. Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to sign an extension and then move on. Literally 3 weeks later. I don't see Bill getting fired. I don't see Bill retiring. But I do see them moving on from Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that his tenure there gives him the benefit of the doubt. But the problem with this team is their offense, right? And he has historically been extremely bad at drafting talented offensive players.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you really expect unless you're going to say, hey, Bill, we're not going to let you choose who you're picking. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not I don't know. I mean,
it could be a possibility that they find a GM.
But I mean, that even then you're going to have to go and tell a guy who's not going to like to hear that, hey, you're not going to make the choice. You're just going to have to put up with what we pick.
Do you see him moving on to another team?
I think it's a possibility. I think that the reason why he's still coaching is he wants to kind of get to that, is it 300?
Yeah,
300.
to the record, whatever it is.
I think that matters to him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a chance that he may keep his eye out for some options. But yeah, I mean, the whole Mac Jones thing, he's not good. He's shown flashes to me where
Yeah.
he's all right, but I don't know if he stays in New England.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe he goes to the Jets.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
No.
I'm thinking Chargers, Commanders.
Commanders is who I would guess.
Or I think those are the two options.
I don't like him in with the Chargers. I just don't like that. I don't think that's a good fit for the culture there, the style that.
But it's Bill Belichick with a good quarterback. That's scary, man.
Maybe. I mean, great defense too. He'd come in and
Great defense, good quarterback.
yeah. Maybe it works. I don't know. I mean, Herbert's kind of a keep your head down and keep working kind of guy, so maybe it works.
I feel like it would be a better team than the Commanders because they just sold everybody. So,
well, for sure. For sure.
For him, I don't see him wanting to join a team that's not going to win.
Yes, except the Commanders have a much easier division. They have a much easier conference.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
100%. Maybe.
There's okay.
The Raiders, who knows what their future's like. The Broncos, who knows what their future's like. The only tough team in that division is the Chiefs.
Yeah, but
they have hard games, but I get that.
Yeah.
But if anybody's going to have that, it's Bill Belichick.
I don't know. This is a weird one. I don't have a good feel on this. I don't really know.
It's hard to tell
What's going to be
Yeah.
coming out of New England.
It's hard to tell. Speaking of coaches, who do you think's on the hot seat now?
I think Brandon Staley kind of saved himself some time.
Yeah.
They looked better. I mean, as far as like penalties, turnovers, things like that. It wasn't a close game for him to blow. So
Finally.
I mean, that's good for him. Trying to think of the rest of the league here. Who's on notice here? I don't really know of anybody that's like super in question. I mean, McCarthy.
I don't see him.
He's not in a really tough spot. He's the only other one that I know that people will pick on, and stuff like that. But I think he's done a good job with the Cowboys. It's just, I mean, for whatever reason, even before McCarthy, Dak was the problem, in my opinion. He's just struggled in those big moments. So, I don't know.
So right now, I've kind of got a few teams.
Yeah?
I feel like Arthur Smith with the Falcons is definitely on a hot seat.
Okay.
If they don't perform well over these next 10 games, they're going to get rid of them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't even know who their coach is. Is it Todd Bowles?
I think it's Bowles. Is it? It was.
I don't know who it is, but I feel like they're on the hot seat, kind of ish. Like, they just haven't done anything. Like I don't really know. And I feel like Sean McVay's on the hot seat.
Really?
I do. I honestly do. Two
He's
years
had
in a row.
such a difficult time with Stafford and injuries.
Yeah, like
Cooper
they
Kupp
win the
coming
Super
out.
Bowl. Good job. But 2 years in a row of just
I think you give him more time.
it's
He
a tough situation. But once again, he put himself in that situation.
well, the whole franchise did. Yeah,
Yeah.
you bought in for that ring and you got it. Good job. But yeah, I think you give him a little bit more time. And I mean, it's hard to win without Stafford
Yeah.
and some of those guys. So I don't know, man. I don't think that it's him that's a problem, but maybe they're as a franchise just saying we need someone new. I mean,
Yeah.
that happens sometimes. So
All right. So you don't really have somebody. That,
nah, not anyone
it's,
that's like
it's hard.
that. It's just like you're.
Yeah.
I think that if anyone's going to get fired, it's a couple weeks away.
Yeah. And I feel like one sneaky person that might is Ron Rivera.
That's true.
Which is kind
Not
of like
his
an
fault.
unfortunate situation because, like, his team's still going out there and winning games, even though the GM just traded away his two good players. Like, bravo, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that, like, they're not giving him enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely true. And it's also one of those things where he's not been there super long. And so it's like, how much of it's his choices versus the G? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those situations. Maybe it's just something's not meshing there. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to do power rankings on these days instead of
yeah. Okay.
before. That way, because it's going to change going into the review or in our review.
Right. Okay.
So let's go ahead and lay out our top 10.
Top 10
Top
teams.
10. We're going to expand it to 10 teams.
Oh,
'cause
boy.
That's going to make it fun.
Yeah,
So,
'cause that's definitely a lot more difficult for
yeah,
sure.
we're going to start at 1. We're going to start at 1 and work our way down this
Okay.
week.
You and me just going back and forth?
We'll go back and forth. I've still got the Eagles at number 1. They just beat who'd they just beat? The Cowboys. They just beat the Cowboys, and
Yep.
it was one of those games where they went out there, did their job, and they won again. Like, it's impressive. They're just able to keep on winning, even if their quarterback's injured. It doesn't matter. They just go and pull out these wins.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely. I mean, we're not going to disagree too much on the Eagles being a really good team and a Super Bowl contender and all that stuff. However,
You have to go with your team.
I got to go with Baltimore.
Yeah.
They've been playing really well, and they just destroyed Seattle, which
Yeah.
I thought that might be a little closer.
I thought they were
But
going to
no,
score.
they came out and they put on a show. Again, the Eagles, basically the only reason I'm giving the edge to Baltimore is because of tougher opponents.
Yeah.
So they've done more with they've just shown me more, you know.
Yeah.
And as a team, when I look at them, they're one of the teams I'm pretty sure can beat Kansas City. I think that they can beat Jacksonville, Miami, any one of those guys that's going to be a contender. I think they have the defense and the offense to do it.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that Lamar has some really good options to go to as far as receiver. Not great, but good. So I like the structure of this team. I like the way they're trending, and so nothing really against the Eagles other than that they've just been some close games and they've kind of struggled against some NFC teams.
Yeah. So Ravens at your 1.
Yep.
Eagles at my 1.
Yep.
Who's number 2?
Number 2. For number 2, I'm gonna go Eagles on this one. Yeah. So they're my 2. Why do? Oh.
Yeah. No. Eagles number 2. Mine changes, and what is going on, bro?
All right, now try.
Is it because are you in the slide or?
I'm on the OBS now.
Well, interesting.
Ta-da. Is it just lagging?
No, it's just not. Oh, hey, we're getting a preview of everything. Why is it's not working? Like the top one's not working.
Oh.
Interesting.
So let's see.
Oh, okay.
Is that working for you now? No?
None of them are. Just go to the dual screen and we'll finish it out.
Okay.
So number 1, Ravens, Eagles. Number 2 is Eagles for you.
Yeah, going Eagles.
I'm gonna have to stay with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really?
They're coming off a bye, and
They got better.
yeah, they got healthier. They got healthier. So
Okay.
if anything, they got healthier. At number 3, I'm gonna put the Baltimore Ravens.
Disrespecting.
I'm not disrespecting. Top 3 is still good.
It's something, but yeah.
Top 3 is good. Like you said, they've just gone out and balled. Every game
100%.
they've played, they've just gone out and done their job and balled. They've
Yeah.
got a couple losses, and that's the only reason they're low. Granted, I think I take into consideration the loss to the Steelers a little bit more than I should, just because it's a
100%.
divisional game. But to only score 10 points on that team is a little worrisome. Like, granted, they have a good defense.
It's one of the better defenses in the leagues, and it's a better defense that sees Lamar multiple times a year for the past however many years.
That's fair. And
So-
that's why I'm taking it into consideration too much.
Yep.
Should they be 2?
They should have won the Colts game. We agree. So they really should be.
They should be 8-1.
They should be.
But I still have so much faith in this Jaguars team, and I just can't get over it.
I just don't.
I can't get over it, man.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. So for my 3, I'm going Kansas City.
Okay.
I'm not as worried as most people about their struggles on offense because I know the work ethic of their coach and their quarterback, and that's all that matters. Their receivers have had drops. They've got some concerns. They're dependent on Kelsey having pretty good game, and teams are starting to notice that and double teaming and being like, all right, beat us with these other bums out here.
Yeah.
And so I just have faith that when it comes down to it, they're going to be in the game. You know, no matter what playoff game, they'll be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like Mahomes better than I like the Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
I don't believe
Whatever.
in him yet.
Whatever.
So that's
man.
my 3, Kansas City.
Yeah. So number 3, 1.
So you're going to go Kansas City 4?
Yeah, I have to put Kansas City 4.
Okay.
I think I had them 5 last week.
Yeah, you did.
And after the win against the Dolphins, I'm still not convinced that they're a Super Bowl team.
Okay. Why? Because of the offense?
Just the offense, and then the fact that they got shut out has really bugged me.
Okay.
Because it's like they got up, and then they just kind of said, all right, I'm good. And then they didn't really the game plan coming out at halftime was not anything spectacular.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game, so I don't really know what all transpired. But I do know that even when they had great offenses, they'd had halves where they were shut out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's just a little worrisome for me. So
Yeah. Okay. I understand the 4.
Yeah.
So does that leave us at 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. Still a top 5 team, playing really good. Like to see some success for them, but again, it's just that there's a lot of newness coming out of this team, so I don't really know what to expect come playoff time.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of proving to do the rest of the year before I'm going to trust them over one of those other teams.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair point. For number 5, this one's gonna surprise you.
Oh boy.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, that's not surprising
I know.
at all, bro.
I was gonna go with somebody else, but I forgot about the Bengals.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
I had Bengals at 4 last week.
yes, you were high on the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bills win. I don't want to say it's impressive because the Bills haven't been great this year, and it's not impressive. It's definitely a good win, but it's not like one of those wins where I went in and didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I predicted them to win.
Yeah.
Granted, it took you a little bit of talking me into it, but
That's true.
so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals at 5,
5.
down 1 from last week.
Okay. So I'm gonna go Bengals at 6.
Yeah.
I think that they're a really solid team. The injury to Jamar Chase is never something you want to see at this point. But it's early enough. I think they've got time to get him healed up. I mean, he's in pain, but I don't think it's going to be lingering for the rest of the season. So, big game coming up for them. But I think that they're good at 6, right? Is that what I have?
Yeah.
Okay, 6.
So at 6, I have the Detroit Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
That is surprising.
That's what I was gonna go with at 5, but then I was like, oh wait, the Bengals. Yeah. So
Weird.
Detroit at 5 or 6.
Okay, that's how painful is that for you to say?
It sucks. I don't want to.
At least it's not Chicago.
Yeah.
That'll never be Chicago.
No, it won't. Who's at 7 for you?
All right, so for 7, it really gets really clouded right here. But I'm gonna go with something that may shock some people, and it goes against everything inside me, and put the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Isn't that ugly? I'm putting the Cowboys there. at 7.
That one hurts probably
Oh, it
worse
definitely
than
hurts.
Detroit for me.
It pains me because it makes me acknowledge the fact that loss to the Eagles wasn't a good loss. There's
Yeah.
never a good loss really,
Mm-hmm.
except for in college. But there's just something about them this year where they're good. I mean, they're the 7th best team in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's where I got them.
And the 7th best team, in my opinion, is the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay,
I feel like once they get Trent Williams and Debo back, they're
they're
going to be good.
okay.
So that once they're coming off a bye week as well, maybe they got all their healthy pieces together, and then they're going to come back and go on a run.
Okay.
Granted, I hope not, because they play the Jaguars this next week. So I hope.
Yeah, that'll be a weird.
I'm ready for
weird
that game.
game.
That game's going to be fun
It's
to
the
watch.
only good game.
Probably. Why is it not in primetime?
I don't know. It's crazy, the primetime games.
It's
So
ridiculous.
that leaves me with 7 or 8 now.
8.
So 8, I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Yeah.
I just the struggle that they've had recently is just one of those things where they're right with the Cowboys. They beat them.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. But some of those losses are kind of concerning.
It's the Bengals. Good team.
Good team. Yeah. They haven't. It's not nothing like super crazy, but they're just not they're so dependent on everybody being healthy.
Yeah.
When everyone's healthy, they're always pretty good. But whenever they have some guys drop, it's like they don't have a quarterback who can save them, like Mahomes. You got some guys on offense that are missing or whatever. He can come in and do some things for you, but
Yeah.
they don't have that.
Yeah. At 8, I've got the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, wow.
I know that's surprising, and it shocks me to say that out loud.
That's pretty crazy. Not gonna
this
lie,
defense,
bro.
man, it's something else.
It is something special. I don't know if that makes them that high on there.
They're number 8, bro, and they're gonna make the playoffs,
Yeah, I think they will.
and they might win a game. I doubt it. They might.
They might.
It might be a divisional game because
Very easily could
like
be.
3 of them are gonna make it. So
That would be crazy.
yeah, if all 4 of them make it, I think that might be like the first time ever.
Probably. That would be insane.
Yeah,
Is that even possible? I guess it is.
it is now. I don't think it was a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
until they added the 7th spot, but
Well, that would be fun to watch.
yeah.
Those teams deserve it, honestly. They're good teams.
They're
So
really good teams. Hardest division in football.
100%. 100%.
Yep, that
So
leaves 9.
9, it's just tough, man. Who do you put in there?
Yeah.
Just based off of what they've done alone, I can't go against Miami at 9 here.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
They do deserve respect for winning the games they should. And the Chiefs game, I mean,
Yeah.
you lose a tough game in that situation, and it's like, all right. I mean, it's the Chiefs,
Yeah.
It'd really be nice if they'd at least get one of these wins, but you can't throw them outside the top 10 for sure. And I don't have them beating Cleveland in a matchup, but
Yeah.
but I have to give them some respect for what they've done.
Yeah.
So.
It's
Isn't that
definitely
crazy?
hard, man.
Ugh.
It's crazy. And at 9, I've got the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, they put on a performance against the Eagles. They weren't able to finish it out.
Yeah,
They've a game of inches, man.
for sure.
Three
Twice.
times.
Three
Three
times.
times.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was a game of inches
Yeah.
3 times, and
But they
It's-
came up short every time. Isn't that just
every
sad?
time they're consistently almost good.
Yep.
So number 9 for the Cowboys. Who's 10?
For 10, I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They deserve that respect. And the reason that I'm going to put them above the Seahawks is because they just got straight up embarrassed.
It's bad.
But
Miserable.
Cleveland not beat. Did they beat them? Not yet. They haven't.
No, they lost to the Seahawks.
No,
Or sorry,
the Baltimore Ravens.
the Ravens. I feel like they don't play until later.
Okay. Well, anyways, Cleveland's had some good wins.
Oh, they lost 28-3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cleveland lost.
Okay. Well, then it's just a toss-up at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the Seahawks more than the Cleveland Browns. Maybe they're more evenly matched than I think,
Yeah,
but it just seems like this defense is much more dominant,
Mhm.
and the offense for Seattle is a little better than the Browns. But yeah, and I definitely don't trust the Steelers. They have a great defense. They have some guys, but I don't trust Kenny Pickett at all.
yeah, no.
He's bad.
The one team I'll go ahead and say my number 11 team right now, and that's the Houston Texans.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame
I
you.
really wanted to put them in at 10, but I can't put them in over Miami right now.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
So I want to give the Houston Texans a shout out at 11, and I've got Miami at 10 for
Yep.
obvious reasons.
There you go.
I just don't think they can until they beat a team that has a winning record. They're gonna sit at 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They deserve to be in the top 10 because they're beating the
Yeah.
bad teams. But they're close in some of these other games.
Yeah,
The
but
Eagles game was close,
It
the
really
Chiefs game was
shouldn't be.
close.
It shouldn't be. These games, there's a couple late touchdowns that, but like I feel like it shouldn't be close.
I mean, they had
At least the Bills game wasn't even close.
Yeah, but I think that more
The
speaks
Eagles
to
games,
the coming
they-
off a really big high.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs should have blown them out. They just didn't do anything in the second half.
But maybe that was scheme and defense. I don't know.
All right. Well, with it being past midnight now, and it is Wednesday, middle of the week, it is time for the mid-season awards.
Mid-season at midnight.
And the middle of the week, it's the mid awards. Capture that. That's great.
Yep.
Let's start off with the Fantasy Player of the Year. We're going to start at the bottom of the awards.
Bottom.
Yep.
The one I'm least prepared for.
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Absolutely.
So-
I've got the answer for both of us. It is a man who's been lower on the budget scale pretty much every week. Definitely has produced top 12 stats multiple times. It's your boy. It's Adam Thielen.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I was going to say his name.
Yeah, I knew you were, and we're both gonna say it. So I just wanted to make sure you said it.
What a
So,
guy.
Yeah. There's just really no other option.
Yeah, in the middle of chaos, he's been a stud.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's getting
produced.
at least in PPR leagues. That's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, in other leagues, maybe not. Strong.
Maybe not because he's not racking up the yards as much. I don't think, but
or touchdowns.
yeah,
but-
he's catching the ball quite a bit.
Yep.
Next is Comeback Player of the Year.
Man.
Yeah. We know DeMar Hamlin's gonna win it at the end of the year.
Well,
I don't feel like he should because he
On a
hasn't played
technicality.
yet.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna get heat if anybody watches that, but he hasn't played yet, and I don't really like I get it, but he's not played.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Right now, Tua is what comes to my mind.
Tua.
Yeah. But he's going to win him. We won't go there yet. I just, I it's a tough one because,
There's not really any good options besides. I mean, DeMar Hamlin's the best storyline
yeah,
because he kind of came back from
being dead.
being dead.
Like,
yeah.
Just put it out there.
Tua, I mean, you could put maybe like Joshua Dobbs in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could you though? Because like that, I just don't see how it's a.
I'm gonna.
It's hard. What do you define comeback player by?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the question.
So then, really, what we should be doing, honestly, is putting out some faith in our guy and say Aaron Rodgers.
Honestly,
if that happens,
if he comes back and plays, how do you not give it to him?
He deserves it at that point.
Like honestly, he really does. And
oh man,
you know, I feel like this guy's not getting it. I don't know. Was TJ Watt injured last year?
Yeah, he could possibly.
I feel like he should because he's having another phenomenal year.
Great year. Maybe I don't know. That's the thing. Comeback player of the year. I don't know.
It's gonna be DeMar. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Not even close. The odds on favorite at -145. So get it while you can. And yeah. Let's move on to our next one. What is that? It is the defensive rookie of the year. And right now, it's pretty much just a one-person show. And that is the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter's been good. Yeah.
He has been very good. Defensive tackle from Georgia. And 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks. I don't even really know defensive rookies like that, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like Brian Branch, he had a pretty good start to his year. Got hurt a little bit, I think. He could potentially, if he puts together a good span of games, win it. But I'm going to have to give it to Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in with so much talent around him that he benefits from that too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Let's move on to, or is that your pick? Or
Yeah, I'll go with
okay,
him.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud.
I would say there's no question.
There's
there.
no question. Puka Nakua or whatever, he's been good.
He started off
But
really good.
CJ Stroud is just that man, dude.
Plus, in a quarterback-heavy league, there's no way.
There's no way he does.
Yeah.
Let's add this one in. Coach of the year.
Oh boy. I mean, I think there's a couple options. I'm gonna struggle with names here. But do you go with Texans? I mean,
Is that D'Amico Ryans?
I can't remember. I'm struggling
to
with
look it
names
up.
on these guys. But
Look it up.
but yeah, I mean, the Texans could be a good option.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans.
Okay. Texans could be a good option on that. It could be just depend. I mean, a lot of this just depends on how the rest of the year turns out for some of these teams. Because you've got the Vikings,
Kevin O'Connell. Yeah.
Through adversity.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. That good year for him.
I'm pretty much putting it between Dan, D'Amico, Mike, and Kevin. It's between those 4.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And I really want to give it to D'Amico.
Honestly, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If they finish out and get to the playoffs, it's him.
It's him, for sure. I agree.
But if otherwise, probably Dan.
Yeah, I would say it's between D'Amico and Dan, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Just because
you expect the Vikings to kind of flame off.
Mike has had talent around him. Let's be honest. I don't know that it's all Mike.
No. But he's still noteworthy, but
yeah. Kevin, the Vikings should fade away.
They should.
If they make the playoffs, throw him in there.
Maybe.
It's a crazy league, bro. We don't know what to expect.
No.
All right, let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. And why is it? Oh, I want to hear you. You go for this one,
man. Let me look at this. I think it's pretty close race. Yep. So pretty close at the top. Personally, Yeah, it's just tough, man. You go Myles Garrett, I think. So Micah Parsons is in there.
Yeah.
He's had a great year,
I
but
feel like he's quiet though.
low key, yeah. But I've got, for me, Miles and TJ,
Yeah.
and then Micah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because TJ, they win games because of him. Same
Yep.
thing with Miles, but those two guys, I mean, you just don't win games without
yeah,
them.
absolutely.
So I just think Myles Garrett's been extraordinarily. I mean, he's just done crazy things this year.
He's been incredible this year. He's
Yeah.
played a different level.
Scary time.
Like, could be MVP if defensive people ever got credit for being a playmaker like that.
I mean, by the technical meaning of the term, I could make a really good argument for him being
for
the
him
most
or
valuable
TJ. Yeah,
player.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, some of these quarterbacks, like, yes, maybe if you
Yeah.
take them out, they don't win as many. But like, as far as impact on a team that really shouldn't be this good, it's Myles Garrett and TJ Watt.
Yeah.
For sure. So who do you have?
I have Miles.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I was really hoping you would go with Micah so I could steal Miles by myself, but
No.
you're smart enough.
And I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah. Let's move on to Offensive Player of the Year.
Give it to Tyreek. Just kidding.
Are you kidding though? Are you kidding though?
Oh my. I mean, so the crazy thing is that he's still in that number one spot.
Yeah.
And then a guy like McCaffrey or AJ Brown. My personal choice is gonna be AJ Brown.
Oh, dude, I hate you.
Dude, you can't let me go first then.
Oh man, I had AJ had his stats up and everything.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, run your spiel.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your pick.
So the reason why is that I think that the reason why that the Eagles have been winning these games, even though it's been a little uglier, it's because of that guy.
Yeah.
He has
He's
been an animal
consistently.
on offense. Yes, he's been just. I mean, how many games in a row with
was
125?
It was 6, I believe.
Crazy
Yeah.
stats for a guy like him. So
Yeah.
he's big, he's strong. I like him. I think McCaffrey is still up there in that conversation,
Yeah.
but he's just kind of faded out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. With the injury, it doesn't help.
Yeah, and then Tyreek, he could certainly win this thing.
He's probably going to.
Probably, but I would prefer to see AJ Brown in it.
Absolutely.
But that's just me. He deserves it
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tyreek is the winner
because I stole yours.
Yeah, Tyreek, he's on a pace that is unknown of, like never heard of, because he's just been playing these terrible teams and destroying them.
Yeah.
Like putting up 180 yards.
But
against,
you see a team that's got a good defense
Yeah,
and that
and
knows
then-
how to
and
handle
then,
him, and he gets
like-
what 60
like
yards,
the team
80
that
yards.
just traded him away.
Yeah,
Like we said, didn't do anything. Said
Yeah.
he was gonna go for 250 before the game.
yeah,
68 or something stupid.
yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's see. Any more? Nope. There's no more awards. It's time. MVP. And this is probably going to be, I have a feeling I know who you're going with. And yeah, go ahead. I know you're not going to steal mine, so.
You don't think I'm gonna pick? I don't even know. You're gonna pick Trevor Lawrence or something stupid, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you?
I'm going to pick Trevor Lawrence.
No, it's Lamar Jackson, dude. I mean, Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson is the reason this offense works. It's built around him. He is still having a pretty fantastic year. And so, yeah, I think it's Lamar. That's talking about most valuable player. You
Yeah.
take him out, this team is not good. Like, they're good, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're not as good for sure.
But you can say that about every single one of these people on this.
Quarterbacks.
Patrick Mahomes, horrible.
No, okay, so wait a minute.
Jalen Hurt.
Wait a minute. Patrick Mahomes this year, it depends on who you replace him with, right?
I'm talking current backups.
Current backups. Is it who they have? Chad Henne still?
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, Mizzou.
MIZ.
So I think that you could make a case that
You can't.
this team. I mean, obviously,
Maybe
he's-
with the defense.
yeah.
but-
It's hard because he's just the best quarterback. Like, it's hard in the NFL,
Is he?
bro.
Bro, he's turned the ball over so much this year. It's concerning. to me.
He's the best quarterback in the NFL. How many drops has his receivers had?
I don't care about the drops. I care about the turnovers.
Because he's having to force things in.
No, he's not. He's chucking the ball deep for no reason.
Well, I mean, that's one of
He's
his...
fumbling the ball.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
That I will say that's concerning. The fumbles, but the interceptions, I'm not worried about those.
I'm not as worried about the interceptions as I am the fumbles.
I mean, you pick one of these quarterbacks.
I'm taking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Okay.
He's on the best team in the league, so...
According to you.
According to me, according to the records.
Okay, you want to go according to the records.
According to the records.
Well, say goodbye to the Cleveland Browns, your top 10.
No, I'm just saying MVP, according to the records.
Okay.
He's playing on the best team. They're 8-1. He's played phenomenal. Through a knee injury, he's not slowed down at all either. And that's one thing I respect about Jalen is he's willing to go out there.
He's tough.
And tough. And he's doing the brotherly shove on a hurt knee.
Yeah,
and still doing it. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I'll say if he wins it, he deserves it. You know, he's at this point in the year at least. If it were done now, he could be well deserved.
I just don't see how Patrick is the MVP favorite right now. I feel like he's favored by plus 80. Like he's 240 right now. Jalen Hurts is second with 320, and then Lamar's 500. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm glad I don't get paid to make these.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, I think Lamar and Jalen are better options, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, with that said, I think it's time to get out of here.
All right.
Go home and go to bed.
Do we need to pick our Thursday night game?
Thursday night. That's one thing we do need to do.
Okay.
Thursday night. Speaking of prime time on Amazon Prime, we have the 1-7 Carolina Panthers taking on the 2-7 Chicago Bears.
What do you do with this?
Take a nap, sleep.
Oh, you have to pick them though.
Oh, bro, I'm taking the Bears.
You're taking the Bears? That easy?
No, I don't know. You pick first.
All right, let me.
It's hard because the Panthers won a game.
Like
that is the hardest part. Is the Panthers beat the Texans?
They did beat the Texans.
So like, are they a good team? Like, no, obviously not. They're not a good team, but like, are they capable of winning games? Yeah.
Let me pull this up here. Week 9, the Panthers. I can't remember exactly what happened in that game.
They played the Colts and lost.
Okay, Colts are sneaky good.
Yeah.
So
they're 4-5.
Yeah. Bryce Young 3 interceptions. Yikes. I think not Ripien. Who's the guy?
Bagent, yes.
He had 2 interceptions as well.
Against a
ugly
team? Or
definitely a better team.
Yeah.
Oh, he had 3 interceptions as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't pretty, but he did throw touchdowns.
2. Yeah.
And I think the Bears have a better run game.
Definitely better run game for sure.
So I am going to go with the Bears. I'm going to put this probably down low I'm going to put it at a 3 confidence.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the other games, but I'm just going to say I'm going to pick the Bears, and I'll do the confidence Saturday. Or before the game Thursday.
Before the game. Sure.
Yeah. Oh.
My bad.
Bro. You're breaking everything.
What did I do? Anyways, I'll fix it later.
Yeah.
I kind of low-key like the Panthers in this game. I don't know if I'm going to talk myself into it, but
please do.
If I do, it's going to be at 1.
At 1?
Yeah,
okay,
but
enough.
if I go with the Bears, I'll put them at 3.
Yeah.
So
it's not a high. It's not one of those high games, but
no, for sure.
All the primetime games are pretty trash. I am excited about the Monday night game. We'll get into that Saturday.
Okay.
But
Yep.
All right. With that said, we're gonna head out, and hopefully our stuff is fixed by Friday or Saturday. So, that said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all Saturday. Goodbye.